Hey folks, Cannonball Cats here, hunting on a bunch of Texas with another tabletop and range review. Today we are going to be looking at this nice piece of work right here. First, let me tell you this is a Dan Wesson PM-9, obviously PM-9 for a 9mm. Dan Wesson makes this in the 45 variety as well, but I wanted a 9. So anyhow, let's go ahead and safety check it as we always do first. As you can see, there is no magazine in there. You can see me waving behind. You can look inside and you can see that there is no round in the chamber. Chamber is empty. We are now able to handle this firearm safely and operate it from there. So first, I just want to show you this firearm and let you take a look at it. This firearm is amazingly attractive. It is just beautiful. One of the things that Dan Wesson does that I really like as I've come to get involved much more into 1911s is I love the fact that they leave the slide very plain. There is the marking here, PM-9, as you can see, but everything else is just clean, and it's clean. You've got markings down there on the frame, but it's a very clean firearm. Obviously, in my opinion, this is the most, the best looking firearm that Dan Wesson has in their line. And the main reason why I like it so much is because if you notice, it's got all polished flats, all the rounds, and in between your slide serrations is bead blasted. It just makes a stunning pistol, and we haven't even got into how well it shoots yet, but it does create a stunning looking pistol. This firearm is forged slide, forged frame, stainless steel, forged. Of course, Dan Wessons are all hand fitted. They're not customs. They take menu parts off of their shells, but they do hand fit all the parts. Again, though, this is a forged slide, forged stainless frame, and a stainless match 9mm barrel. This is the standard 1911 with the bushing variety. This particular firearm, the PM-9, is reminiscent of their old point men. I think they may even still have the connotation of that. I just call it the PM-9. It does come with the target sight. Comes with a very thin, I don't know the width, but a very thin green fiber optic front sight. The actual rear sights, I believe, are, I couldn't even tell you exactly what brand they are, but they're probably like a Bomar or an LPA and then rebranded. Somebody else might know better than me on that, but then rebranded. Obviously, they're marked with Dan Wesson on the sight itself. Comes with Cocobolo diamond checkered wood grips. Firearm comes with 25 LPI checkering on the back strap or on the mainspring housing, and also comes with 25 LPI checkering on the front strap of the grip. It is very tactile. It gives a great purchase. I mean, it's very nice. And of course, this is the government size with the 5-inch barrel. And so with the 9mm cartridge, it mitigates recoil like crazy. It's very easy to reacquire the target. There is, on the bead blasting top surface, there is serrations, as you can see, pretty customary with all Dan Wessons that they have that on their firearms. A little bit of an undercut trigger, but all in all, just an exceptional looking firearm. And we'll get into the discussion of the firearm itself. Couple of likes, couple of dislikes, but first I want to go into the range report and go ahead and show you how she fired today. I put 150 rounds through her at the range. And I will tell you that no malfunctions whatsoever in 150 rounds. It did have a slam shut on the slide, one slam shut. That was when I put a magazine in. It was not a slam fire. It was a slam shut on the slide as I racked the mag in there. The mag slide stop just didn't catch that slide stop notch all the way. And I have an opinion of the reason why that took place, which I will tell you when we come back from the range report or from the range videos. It shows you how she functioned and shows you the accuracy that this firearm is capable of. We'll be back in a few. Not too bad at 7 yards. Top right was a fall apart. Picked it up again on the bottom right, or the middle right. All right, we are back, folks, and I hope you folks enjoyed some of the range cuts that I showed on this firearm. As you can see, it ran wonderfully, and it's extremely accurate, even in my hands. That was freehand shooting at 7 yards on everything, and the firearm just is really, really very, very, very precise. I can only imagine if I was doing it off of a rest, how tight the groups would be. But at 7 yards freehand, I know the groups will open up as you stretch it out a little bit further distance, but at 7 yards freehand, that's pretty damn good for me. And I'm not pretty happy, I'm extremely happy with the way this firearm fires. Anyhow, let's get into a couple things about this firearm. First, let's get into the fit and finish. So this firearm is like all Dan Wessons. It is a very tight firearm. It is very precise tolerances. It is not quite as tight as what I would normally expect from the slide to frame mate that you see with a lot of Dan Wessons. There is a little bit, I mean, really isn't. It doesn't move at all. It doesn't. There's nothing that you can feel. It is really tight, but it's not quite. It's just for you guys that know 1911s, you'll understand what I mean. It's just not as tight as some other Dan Wessons, and or not as tight as my Bruin. But that plays no role in its accuracy. This thing is extremely tight and extremely right. So let me leave it at that. The barrel bushing to slide and barrel lockup is extreme tight. I can take apart all of my 1911s without the tool. This one, I cannot get it apart without the tool. The actual mating of the bushing to the slide and over the barrel is very, very, very tight. So I have to use the tool to take it apart. And it's interesting, I've only taken it apart once before I fired it the first time. I took it apart the other day and cleaned it all up, oiled it all up, and I had some issues getting it back together because the tolerances are so tight with the barrel lockup in the slide and the bushing. And I had to, go with a little bit of an unconventional method to get it back together. But I was able to get it back together, and it's running like a champ. As you can see, I've only got what I put through it earlier at the range is all I've got through it at this point. That's 150 rounds is what I put through it. Dan Wesson recommends 50 rounds per oiling and cleaning and oiling, so to speak, till it's broke in. I had taken my Kimber Pro Carry with me, Pro Carry 9 to fire after I put 50 rounds through this. Never pulled the Pro Carry out of the bag. Man, this thing was shooting so good, I just couldn't help myself. I had to do all 150 rounds. So I love it. It's really amazing right now. Anyway, talk about a couple other items on this. I don't want to, we've already got enough video time taken on everything else. So the actual slide stop, where I commented about it having a slam shut on the slide, I was having problems when I first took it apart after I got it back together with the slide stop releasing once the slide is locked back. And I don't let the firearm slam shut. I never do. People do or don't. That's their prerogative. I don't do it. I don't want to take a chance on damaging something unless there's a round in there that provides a little resistance as it closes. But what was happening is this pin, the spring inside your retainer here, is so tight, and then the actual slide stop pin that goes through your barrel locking lug, it's fitted so tightly to that lug that it just wasn't allowing this to slide down. So what I did is I put a little extra oil, let a little extra oil run into here, put a little bit between this spring clip and the slide stop, and then I just worked it last night over and over and over until it finally started closing fairly reliably every time I would lock it. It started out with having to go back and forth 3 or 4 times, and it would slowly work itself down. But it's gotten to the point now where it's very reliable after firing today. It does it every time. As you can see, does it every time. So it's doing exactly what it should. I believe that to be part of the break-in process. It's the first time I've had to deal with that, but it's part of the break-in process. Man, listen to that. That safety is extremely positive. So no play, no movement, and very, very positive. So very good. Also, the trigger, I know I'm all over the place, folks, but the trigger itself, right now, I measured it out yesterday. I took three readings with my regular scale, trigger scale, and that is how I use this guy right here. Took 3 readings. This is my Lyman scale, and it averaged 3.5 pounds. This is not a digital, but I'm going by my eyeballs on these markings here. Came out to 3.5 pounds. It's the lightest trigger of any 1911 I have. It's extremely good. It's extremely crisp. Remember, we're safe here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you see the take up and how it goes. So there's a very minimal amount of take up, like all 1911s have, and then little bit of squeeze, and it closes. There's not much there to it. Now I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to reset it so you can watch the reset of the trigger. Not much to it. Right there, and done again. It's got a nice audible click, and there's not a whole lot of let off to get it to reset. So, you know, really, other than the little bit of an issue with the slide stop, with the firearm being so tight that it was very interesting manner in which I had to reassemble it, and also the slide to frame fit not being quite what the other one is. Those are three minor things that don't really affect this firearm at all as far as my likes for it. I absolutely love it. For anybody that's looking to get into a very, very nice 1911, can't go wrong with Dan Wesson. They're very, very good firearms. And this one here, this is, out of all of my firearms, I consider this one to be the best one yet. Out of my Kimbers and Dan Wessons, this one is my best one yet. And it's my newest, and I just love firing it, and I've only fired it once. I can't wait to get there again. But we're going to see. I'm hoping I can get into some competition shooting with it and see how we do. Casual competition shooting. I'm not going to get really competitive in that. I've got a daily job. I work 40 hours a week, and I don't have time to do it like some of those pros do. So, not to mention, I'm not as good as that. I just want to get out there and have a good time and be able to fire this gun. And that gives me the opportunity. So, anyhow, folks, I know that was a quick one. I say it was quick. Everything put together makes it another long one, as usual. I'm going to clean this thing up and get it ready for the next one, get it oiled up. I fired it pretty wet to make sure. I'm gonna fire it wet next time, but it's gonna be not quite as wet, and then I'm gonna taper off as we go. So anyhow, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Make your comments down at the bottom. Everybody has their opinions about calibers. To each his own, folks. If you like 45, get you a 45. If you like 9, get you a 9. If you like 10 millimeters, get you a 10. 1911 is a 1911. And whatever caliber it comes in, 38 Super also, by the way, whatever caliber it comes in, get you the one that interests you the most, and get out and enjoy the sport of shooting with your 1911. I want to wish everybody a very, very happy holidays with this upcoming Christmas weekend. Merry Christmas to y'all. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Texas. And we will see you on the flip side. Cannonball Cats signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.